Hello dear students. In this video, let's see what do you mean by external storage class. In the previous video, we saw what do you mean by auto storage class. In this video, let's see what do you mean by external storage class. The word extern itself will come very late in this video. Okay, so when do you use this word extern in programming in C will be seen somewhere after 5 to 7 minutes. But before that, just observe in this program, in this very simple program I have written. And in this program, we have declared one variable z. You see, this is declaration of z, which is of type int. But you observe that z has been declared without any scope. That means there is no pair of brace open and brace close surrounding this declaration of z. Indeed, z has been declared beyond any scope. Such variables are global variables. These are global variables. I hope you recall what is local variable, which we saw in the previous video. Now, as the name suggests, this is a global variable. This variable z can be used in the rest of the program anywhere. This variable is available in the entire program. I hope you understand what I am talking about, because if I declare a variable int x here, let's say, int x equal to 10, let's say, then you know how to read this. The variable x is declared within the pair of open brace and close brace. Then this variable x becomes local to that scope. And when the scope ends, the variable x will be deleted from the memory. Such variables have auto storage class. Remember, we don't write the word auto, but these variables have auto storage class and they are available in the memory only when the scope is existing. But what about z? You observe this variable z again. There is no scope surrounding it. Then such variables are global and they can be used throughout the code. That means you can use z inside any scope. Just check. Anywhere doesn't mean that you can use z. This is a very silly statement I am making. You can use z after main, somewhere here. No, this is so silly. What I am saying is you can use z inside any scope. That's what is the meaning of global variable. For instance, let's say that here is the code again. See this z, of course, before this hash include stdio.h is there. Just see this z. This is a global declaration. And also observe that we have not initialized z. We have not given it any value. Then by default, z will be set to 0. Well, you recall about local variables. If you don't initialize auto variable, that is local variable, then it will be initialized to some garbage value. I hope you recall that. But when you don't initialize a global variable, then by default value of this global variable will be 0. So coming back to our previous slide, just imagine that I put a printf here inside f1 function. Printf %d\n z. Now observe, z is not declared anywhere inside the function f1. That means inside the curly brace open and curly brace close of the f1 function, z is not declared, but z is declared outside the scope, external to the scope. But then still this z is available, and inside the scope of f1, you can use z. And what will be the output? Yes, output will be 0 because you haven't initialized z, so automatically the value stored in the variable z will be 0. Okay. Similarly, you see main. Inside main, suppose I put printf %d\n z. Now observe, main says, hello, I don't know this variable z because inside my scope, there is no variable z declared, but then there is a global z available, and main has full permission to use that global z. So the output of this line also will be 0. I wrote this very simple program just to tell you that global variable can be used inside any scope and it is available throughout the code. What it means is this z is stored in the memory, of course, stored in the memory, stored in the memory for entire code, for the entire program. So what is life of z? Life of z is the entire program. But look, I am again encircling this declaration. If I ask you what is life of x, you will say, sir, x has been declared within this scope. Then life of x is limited to this scope. When the scope ends, this variable x will be deleted from the memory. What we say is life of x is limited, whereas life of z is throughout the program. Now you please try to understand. Give a pause here. Wait a minute. Now you try to understand these two words, storage class. Storage, the word storage is related to storing something in the memory. Okay? We are storing Z, we are storing X in the memory. But the point is that if we are storing something in the memory, then how long, what is the duration till which that resource will be saved or stored in the memory? One way of saying this is that there are two classes. There are two classes of storage. One is limited, other is full code. And the limited storage class is where the life is limited is auto. And the life is the entire code is extern. Just check this word extern. This variable z has been declared external to any scope, isn't it? So which storage class will z have? Z will have extern storage class. Please try to understand this. Okay. Now have a look at this code again. You know z is global and z is having value 0. Now let's try to run this code. Let's try to run this code. Let's try from main. Of course, main will start first. Now check that when the scope of main starts here, there is a declaration. There is a new variable declaration int z equal to 0. Correct? Now this z is different from this z. So can there be two variables with the same name in same program? I repeat, can there be two variables with same name z in the same program? Yes, of course. One of them is global z, which can be used throughout the code, and another one z is local. It can be used only within this scope. Please try to understand. So main says, it's like main saying that I don't want the global property. I don't want that global z. I will declare my own z and whose value is 10. So it is very easy if I ask you what is the output of this printf. Look, this printf is trying to print z, but which z will be printed? Now there are two z's, one z which is equal to 0, which is global, and another z which is equal to 10, but this is property of main. Main is having this z. So tell me, when this printf runs, we are trying to print z, but which z will be printed? Whether it will be 0 or 10? Oh yes, it will be 10. Main says, look, I am not using global z. I have my own variable with the same name z. So when I am trying to print z, of course I will use my local property. I hope you are understanding. Now look at this. There is a call to f1. This is a void function and function f1 has been called from here. So let's go to f1 function. F1 will start running. But look what f1 is doing. F1 is saying I will also declare my own variable z. So F1 says I am also not interested in global z. You know such variables have auto storage class. Even this z at the bottom has auto storage class. So now there is one more z whose value is 20 and this is declared inside the scope of F1. All three variables Z are different variables. Please try to understand. And now when F1 is trying to print Z, of course it will print its own variable because that's what it says. I will declare my own variable. So Z printed is 20. Whereas here Z printed is 10. And then after that, the program ends. You watch, this is the end of the program. So global variables, I hope you are understanding. Global variables can be used anywhere in the code, definitely. But when can you use global variable inside a scope? Please try to understand. When that scope is not having variable with the same name. If that scope is having same variable with same name, then obviously your choice is to use your own variable, the local variable, not the global variable. Okay, let's try to figure out what happens over here. Okay, yeah, before that, I will take you to code blocks. Here is the code blocks, and I have written one sample program. I have kept myself ready this time. You just check what are the things done over here. There is a variable Z declared and its value is 0. You know this is global. Let's start execution from main, int main, and main is trying to print Z. Just observe, main does not have a variable Z declared of its own. So inside main, we will be using global Z. Hence, the output printed by main will be 0, isn't it? Now imagine that within main we call F1 function. F1 is a void function, so you know it should be called just as its name and bracket. Now, if F1 starts running, just check control goes to F1. It is also trying to print Z. But F1 is not having variable with the same name. It doesn't declare any such variable. So F1 will also borrow global variable and it will print 0. So the output of this program will be 0, 0. So let's try to build and run. So you know that the first execution may take some time. So by the way, this time I have used code blocks. I was using Atom in the previous videos to type and run our C programs. Let it run. Let's see later. Okay, have a look at this code. There is no global variable done. The cursor is hovering. There is F1 function which is trying to print Z. And then there is a declaration made here, you see. Int Z equal to 50. Just check this. Now, can you understand that this is a variable declaration? Z is a variable declaration outside any scope. You can see this curly brace close here, isn't it? And you can see curly brace open here. It is beyond any scope. This is clearly a global variable. It can be used anywhere in the code. Listen, I repeat, Z is a global variable. It is external to a scope. It is not within the scope. So Z can be used anywhere inside any scope. You can understand that main is already using Z. You can see main is using Z and main is not having its own variable Z. So it prints 50 and then we call F1 function. Listen very carefully. Now when we call F1 function, F1 is also trying to print Z, but there will be an error here. Z not declared. But then we said that Z is global and Z can be used anywhere because it is declared outside a scope. Then why is this line reporting an error? That's because simple rule is you can use Z definitely, but from its point of declaration downwards. Look, Z has been declared at this line, isn't it? Z has been declared here at this line. How can you expect that Z will be used before its declaration? Are you understanding? But then we still stick to our point that Z is a global variable. I will not correct myself because I was correct. Z is a global variable and we should have a liberty. We should have a facility that Z can be used before this also. How can you use Z like that? Now comes the word extern. What you do inside the F1 function, you write a word extern and then int, then Z. Hello, don't give it a value. Don't give it a value. Now, this line actually doesn't declare a new variable Z. This line says that there is a variable, Z declared, declared external to the scope, external to the scope, and we want to use it. We want to use that variable. So C will see this declaration and say, okay, you want to use that Z which has been declared beyond the scope, whose value is 50. Fine, I will permit you, and now you can print Z. The first question which might come to your mind is, why to declare Z here? Why don't you declare on top itself? Isn't it? If you want it to be global, why don't you declare it on top? The point is that extern storage class is normally used when you have multiple programs in your code. We are restricting ourselves to a single program, but a project may contain multiple programs. Then variable declared in the other file should be used by some other file. So it's cross code usage of the variables. So at that point, you can't say that where is that external variable declared. Come to the point. To use Z, which is indeed global variable, above its declaration, in the scope where you want to use it, you should redeclare Z saying that I want to use that Z which is externally declared. So 50 will be printed here. Okay, I hope you have understood that. Now let's go back to code blocks. Output is ready. I said 0, 0 will be the output. Just check, Z was global, it was 0. Main printed Z, main did not have Z of its own, so 0 was the output. F1 was called, F1 also prints Z, so 0 is the output. Let's try something more here. In main, I will declare one variable, int Z equal to, let's say 10. Let's say. Now what will happen? Main starts first, of course. Main has its own variable Z, whose value is 10. Z is printed, so obviously 10 will be printed. Main will not use global variable now. And then F1 is called. You see, when F1 will be called, F1 says, I don't have my own variable Z, so I will borrow global Z. So the second output will be 0. Just check, if you build and run this, the output is going to be first output. Main will print 10, but F1 will print 0. That proves that F1 is using global Z. Yes, 10 and 0. Let's do something more. Now let's say main also has a variable int Z. And let's say int Z equal to 10. Let's say. Now what happens is, main when tries to print Z, it says I have my own Z, I will print 10. And when F1 is called, F1 also tries to print Z, it says I have my own Z, which is also 10. Okay, let's change the value here. Otherwise, we won't be able to know properly which value is printed. Okay, 20. Let's say. So F1 is going to print 20. Let's build and run. Just see 10 and 20. So this global Z was not used anywhere in the code. Naturally, this Z will not be used because every scope, this scope I am talking about and this scope, main scope, had their own variable with the same name. Okay. Now, let us say that we just change, I am just changing a few lines of this code again. Let's say we have declared Z. Let's check. We have declared Z here. Int Z equal to 50, as I said in the earlier slide. And let's say main is not having Z of its own. Okay. So obviously main will borrow the global Z. Global Z is here. But it can't borrow because Z has been declared after the usage, isn't it? So this line is going to report an error. Okay. Okay. I'll remove this declaration also. Let's see. Main will be allowed to use Z. Please try to understand. Main will be allowed to use global Z. because global Z has been declared before this scope. So it knows what is Z. Main knows who is Z, but F1 doesn't know. Okay, let's see the error first of all. This is going to report an error. See, the error is shown here, the red square which has been shown, and the error has been reported at the bottom. Oh, yeah, okay. There is an error reported here. You can see Z undeclared. First use in this function. Z is undeclared. So F1 doesn't know anything about Z, although Z is global. Hello, try to understand. Z is global, there is no doubt about it, because Z is declared beyond the scope. But F1 doesn't know anything about that variable Z. So if you want F1 to use that external Z, then you should write extern int Z semicolon. Now F1 can use this Z, whose value is 50. Let's try to build and run again. This is going to print 50 and again 50. So main and F1 both are using global Z now. I repeat, if this declaration int Z equal to 50 was made right on top here, then this is very silly. Why will you write extern int Z here? Extern int Z? No need, because anyway Z has been declared before the scope and F1 has full liberty of using Z. I hope you have understood the extern storage class and you have also understood difference between auto and extern. Thank you very much.